I'm here interviewing Marilyn Fontaine. Where can I start? This beautiful woman has endless talents behind her. She's a businesswoman, cert ed, lecturer, NLP, life coach, employment skills, tutor. Where can I stop? I will let Marilyn introduce herself to you now. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Fontaine. Thank you, Michelle, for such a humbling introduction. My skills are I work in the field of personal development. I work mainly with women. I've been working with women for nearly 15 years, maybe longer than that, I'm not too sure. I've taught in the beauty industry as well as the personal development industry, and I run women's circles in person and online. I'm a holistic coach, so I work with the mind, body and the spirit, mostly with women. So I've had many years working with women in personal development field and young women as well. So, and I've also written a book called The Creative Healing Playbook, a guide to your own personal playful life. And I'm in the process of writing another book as well. So, hope that's enough for you, Michelle.
Lovely, thank you so much. Right, I'm doing a presentation for psychology at Birkbeck University, and I wanted to get from yourself, a woman with so much knowledge and experience, yes, I wanted to gain more knowledge from yourself in regards to the presentation, what I'm doing. I'm doing the psychological effects of beauty, and my key question is, what is beauty?
Wow, it's a very general, broad question, but
yes.
What is beauty? In terms of what I feel beauty is, or what do people perceive beauty? Or the women I work with?
Both, okay. Yes.
For me, beauty, I think that beauty is something that is an inner, I wouldn't say virtue, but it's an inner quality that somebody has. When I think of beauty, I think of love. But the outside shines through. Beauty for me is a holistic thing. It's not just about somebody who's beautiful on the outside. It's something coming within. So when you're somebody who's a person with integrity, who's got compassion, who's got kindness, these what I see as really a beautiful person. But in terms of what beauty is in terms of society, is about, I think beauty is again in the eye of the beholder, but we have a model that we follow, which has been conditioned, which we've been conditioned with from childhood, and that's beauty is a standard, what we're measured against, and it's from a society that's created that standard based upon, the symmetry of somebody's face. But again, the examples that are given are not necessarily all reflective of what I look like. So in a nutshell, when I work with people and I talk about beauty, it's often a beauty measured against an external perception of beauty, which is not necessarily reflects my background, or it doesn't reflect who I am. So beauty for me has to be defined in terms of, obviously we're all going to have our prejudices against beauty. Somebody is beautiful, and again, conditioning, we're going to look at somebody and say that person is really beautiful. So again, for me, it's somebody that really can express all their characteristics of their face, incorporate that with who they are. So a beautiful person who is able to look after themselves, but kind of rule themselves by their standards. When I think of a beautiful person, I think of Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
Because Erykah Badu she doesn't just have locks or plaits because black or white people find it acceptable or beautiful. She's doing it as an extension of her creative expression. And she does have beautiful eyes. She has beautiful almond-shaped eyes. She has full lips. She has a small nose, but that doesn't define whether she's beautiful or not. But she works to enhance that. And there's days when she doesn't wear makeup and other days when she does. So beauty is an extension of your creativity and also a person's behaviour. That's what I see beauty as. I hope that answers your question.
Right. Okay, that's fantastic. What the next question I'm going to ask is, obviously, you explained a lot in a nutshell, but the effects, the psychological effects of beauty now, because obviously you said things there like the European standard.
Yeah.
You know, like we're quoted on a European standard, or it's a standard that we all need to be moulded into or fit. How can, like myself, somebody like myself, or women of colour, or men of colour, or any other nationality that's not deemed European, how are they meant to feel? Where do they stand?
So you've asked what are the effects of externalised beauty, the concept of externalised beauty on an individual who's not European, who's not and what can they do? Well, the first question is, the effects of beauty have been detrimental. You see the biggest consumers, the biggest businesses, the black hair care industry, and what happens is that women have bought into the notion that to have straight hair you have to be beautiful. Now, I don't think that's the right or wrong thing. I just think it's impacted on black people in a way that they don't feel they're beautiful to have natural hair, or to have, not a lot of them because that's generalising, but a lot of them. So the impact it has had on them. I remember as a younger, when I was growing locks, members of my family or people I knew were saying, you know, you're growing locks, wow, that's a really bold move. So I had to be really quite really conscious of who I was. So the effects of people bleaching their skins, they're actually you're seeing people that are using bleaching products which have got mercury, which has got lead, have got all kinds of chemicals in the products, and it is affecting their health. A lot of the time your liver has to get rid of all the toxins in your body, so your liver's overworked. I had a student that had first stages of skin cancer because she was bleaching her face. So these are the impacts: lack of self-esteem, it's lack of self-preservation. I've had women that have come and have not believed in who they were because they've been seen with too dark, their hair's too thick and woolly. Or you have people that are maybe Asian, they're not fair enough in their community. So it's impacting on them when they want to get married or finding a husband because they don't feel they're gorgeous enough. I mean, I've even had white students that hair's not long enough, they're getting extensions that are ripping out their scalp and affecting them. So it's on a general scale, but in terms of the black community, the Asian community, it's quite impactful. Every choice you make is impacted by how you look, and people are measuring themselves against the people in the industry because they want to look like them. And the interesting thing is happening is that both black and white are starting to look the same because the eyelashes, the hair, the colour is moulding into one. So it's transpired from a black thing into a national thing because the standards of beauty are not what we was perceived as to be natural anymore. It's very enhanced. And again, in terms of what can we do, the only thing I find is, I mean, I have to really make this short because of the women I work with, but it's literally developing, trying to understand videos like this, presentation like what you're doing, to be shown around is going to be really helpful because, again, it starts from within, and that's a very long road because you're literally going to have to compare where you get the standards of notions of beauty from and what's being put towards us in society. Thank God for the actress of 12 Years a Slave. She's actually out there now and people are seeing dark-skinned women in lead roles being very beautiful. But I'm just concerned that she's not just put up as a token. And the people before her, like Alex Weck and all the other dark-skinned beautiful people are forgotten. You don't have to win an Oscar to be a dark-skinned beautiful woman. You know, I don't think we should stop wearing makeup. We should stop doing our hair. I don't think people should stop wearing weaves. It's up to them, it's their personal choice. But as long as they know what they're doing and why they're wearing it for, and that they know that if they didn't have weaves or makeup, they're just as beautiful.
Yes. So it's learning our self-worth first.
Yeah, very important.
And who we are first.
Yes. Who we are, the people that came before us, what makes us us,
Yes.
what our values are in life, what's important to us, and how we can serve in this world, what our gifts are in this world. When you have that, it doesn't matter what you wear, because that shines through. So self-worth is the most important thing that we need to wear. Has our cosmetics, has our hairstyles, has our clothes. That is if it's a perfume, that's what we need to get.
Yes. Well, Marilyn, I cannot stress thank you enough for this interview. I know it's short, and I know time because I know you're a very busy woman.
Yes.
But thank you so much, and I hope that we'll be able to interview you again and continue this conversation, and obviously take it much further. But thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Bye-bye.